All right, shalom. Shalom to the elect of Israel, whoever you might be out there. I'm going to start off as always by giving all praise, all honor, all glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak, Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teach and who rule well, who taught us this truth through the power and spirit of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Hey, Lord willing, this lesson is edifying to the elect out there, whoever you might be. And shalom to the 144,000. It's the brother Amawan Padah from the GMS Denver camp doing a second video in response to a comment that was made on the comment board. Brother had questions about the 7-year tribulation spoken of by the Christian church. All right. Now the Christian church, all right, is full of different lies and, incorrect breakdowns of the scriptures. And one of those is, the myth of the 7-year tribulation period in the end times. Now, the scriptures don't give us an exact time frame of how long the tribulation period is going to be. So the first video I did was in response to, the 7 trumpets in Revelation, the 8th chapter. All right. And the brother was asking about the 9th chapter as well. So I want to get into it because he was asking, are we in those times? And the answer to that question is no and yes. Because the first part of Revelation, the 9th chapter, is really talking about World War I. And I'm not going to do the breakdown of that in this particular video. I might do another lesson talking about that at another time. But since the brother asked about this current time, we're going to address that. So Revelation chapter 9 and verse 1 through 11 is talking about World War I. Yes, World War I is in the scriptures. But let's go ahead and get into verse 12 on down, because this is talking about the Third World War, which is the War of Armageddon, which is soon to go nuclear. But verse 12, it says, one woe is past, and behold, there come 2 woes more hereafter. That's prophetic speak for world wars. All right, we already went through the First World War. All right, then there was a Second World War. Now we're in the time of the third one. Okay? You see? Verse 13. And the 6th angel sounded, and I heard a voice from the 4 horns of the golden altar, which was before the Most High. So this is the vision that John the Revelator had on the island of Patmos. Man, he was seeing these, intense visions of future events. Okay? And he's describing right here World War III. Saying to the 6th angel, which had the trumpet, loose the 4 angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates. And the 4 angels were loosed, which were prepared for an hour and a day and a month and a year for to slay the third part of men. And we already went into Revelation 8 where it talks about, Revelation 11. Forgive me, Revelation 7, where it talks about the 4 angels releasing the 4 winds, on the earth. All right. They had to wait until, the 144,000 were sealed in their foreheads. All right. Meaning that were given the truth and had the understanding of the truth in the last days. And then once that happens, then the angels are going to be commanded to let World War III fully commence. All right. So verse 16, and the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000, and I heard the number of them. Now, this is not talking about actual horsemen, men on horses. This is talking about what? Missiles. Okay? They're going to be a great number of warheads shot off in the midst of World War III. All right? There are a lot of nuclear missiles that have been produced over the years. Okay, and John the Revelator saw the number of them. All right, 200,000 goes into 200 million. Okay, 200 million warheads, because each missile has multiple warheads. All right, so John the Revelator had the vision of this from the heavens. That's why World War III is going to be a war to end all wars, man. It's going to be, so bad it's going to shake the earth, man. It tells you the earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard. Very serious business, man. But anyway, that's what that's talking about, the horsemen. You got some Christians that break it down incorrectly. They're saying that that's talking about the Chinese army. Wrong, okay? This is why you must listen to the teachers whom the Lord has given the full understanding of the truth to. All right, starting with the elder apostles of Great Millstone on down. You can receive it or not, all right? You get a lot of these Christians bringing out these bugged out ass breakdowns that make no sense. Anyway, continuing on, verse 17. And thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them, having breastplates of fire and of jacinth and brimstone. And the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions, and out of their mouths issued fire and smoke and brimstone. Now, this lets you know it's not talking about actual horses or foot soldiers. This is talking about missiles, nuclear missiles. All right. You see, the fire and brimstone comes out of the what? The missiles when they detonate. This is what John the Revelator was saying. Okay. All right. And it says, that's why it says, and out of their mouths issue fire and smoke and brimstone. The warheads detonating. Now, verse 18. By these three was the third part of men killed, by the fire and by the smoke and by the brimstone which issue out of their mouths. So John the Revelator was describing these nuclear missiles the best way he possibly could. They didn't have that terminology or technology back then in his time. So he had to speak to the best of his abilities and write these things down for us to understand. Here in these last days, we understand what he was talking about. He was describing the nuclear missiles being shot off in the midst of World War III. We're in that time, all right? It tells you in Romans 15:4, things were written aforetime for our learning. The prophets of old didn't fully understand the prophecies, all right? Here in these last days, the prophets are able to understand the things that were written down of old, okay? Verse 19, for their power is in their mouth and in their tails. For their tails were like unto serpents and had heads, and with them they do hurt. Now let's break this down, okay? Where it says for their power is in their mouth, let's talk about the end of the missile, man. The head of the missile, the warhead. That's where the explosive power comes from, all right? And it says in their tails they had power. The end of the missile, the butt of the missile, that's the what's the word for the propellant, all right? The fire that comes out that propels the missile to fly through the air. Okay, you see missiles being shot off. What do you see behind it? You see that fire. All right, that's what that's talking about. He actually seen this, man. This is how he was describing it. And it says, for their tails were like unto serpents. All right, so when you see a missile flying through the air, a lot of times it has that smoke trail behind it. Okay, and it looked like a serpent, like a snake to John the Revelator. That smoke trail coming from behind the missile. All right. It says, and had heads, and with them they do hurt. When they explode, they hurt greatly. Body parts get blown all over the place, man. Things get set on fire. All right. Utterly destroyed. That's what he saw. Verse 20. And the rest of the men which were not killed by these plagues, yet repented not of the works of their hands, that they should not worship devils and idols of gold and silver and brass and stone and of wood, which neither can see nor hear nor walk. So the Lord is bringing this destruction because one of the reasons is the idolatry that goes on here in the world today, man, especially here in America, Babylon the Great. Also other parts of the earth, of course, but you know, those who are not worshiping the true power of heavens and earth, Yahweh Bashmi Shai, you're doing what? You're committing idolatry. You're serving idols. It tells you that in Psalms 96 and verse 5. All right. So the Lord is mad. He's pissed off. And he's finna bring that destruction. That's part of the reason why World War III is being orchestrated. The heavy idolatry going on in the earth. All right. And it says, Matter of fact, let me jump back up to verse 18. I did miss a point I wanted to get into, where it says in verse 18, and the third part of the men was killed by the fire. The third part of men is referring to Esau, the Edomites, the wicked, because in the scriptures, the men of the earth are classified into three different categories. You have the sons of the Most High, sons of God, right? Who are the Israelites. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, and Israelite foreigners. The chosen seed line, right? The sons of the Most High, which were back then in the time of Adam as well. There was always the sons of the Most High in the earth. And then you have the heathen nations, okay? Those that are outside of the chosen bloodline. All right, and then you have the wicked, which is Esau, Edom, the so-called white race, the Edomites. According to Malachi chapter 1 and verse 4, it talks about this. They are the wicked. That's their classification. So that's the third part of men, okay? Esau represents 1/3 of that pie, and they're going to be destroyed. Their power structure, their authority, their rulership is going to be destroyed in the midst of World War III, and a lot of them are going to die. All right? So that's what that's talking about in verse 18. But let's jump back on down to the last verse. This is verse 21. It says, neither repented they of their murders, nor of their sorceries, nor of their fornication, nor of their thefts. Because Esau, Edom is the wicked. They're not going to repent. They're not designed to repent. They're just the wicked. That's how the Lord created their ass. What does it say? It says, can you make a crooked thing straight? Roughly paraphrasing. All right. Esau is the crooked. He cannot be made straight. He cannot learn righteousness. All right. So, yeah, man. They're not going to repent for all the shit that they've done on the earth. So the Lord going to have to just take them out. We're going to have them in captivity for a period of 1,000 years. All right. And then we're going to do away with them. According to Obadiah 1 and 18. Okay. Because the Lord is getting ready to do away with the wicked. They served their purpose. And now we're in the end of their rulership, man. Okay. So this is talking about these times. 2nd Ezra 6 and 9 tells you that Esau is the end of the world, meaning the end of the age, this current satanic age that we're in. And Jacob, the sons of God, the Israelites, are the beginning of it that followeth, man, which is the eternal kingdom of heaven, which will be on the earth. Okay? So, to answer your question, the second part of Revelation, the 9th chapter, is talking about the times that we're in right now, the time of World War III, the War of Armageddon. Okay? So, I'm in this lesson right here, just a quick one. Hopefully this is eye-opening and edifying to the elect, and hopefully it answers your question. I'm going to end it by giving all praise, all honor, all glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teach and who rule well, who taught us this truth through the power and spirit of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Equam Yasharallah and Abide Babal. Shalom.